7:15 live streaming weather show to start. This is meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer doing a level check, running a little bit behind here. Had a few things that I had to take care of, and it took me a little longer than I thought. So getting ready. Let's see, turn on the lights, turn off those lights. Make sure that everything, alert monitors, weather one. Okay, I think we got everything running here. All right. So, and it says we're on Facebook too, so good. Let's start off with what I'm supposed to start off with. Oh my gosh, let's see. There, the 7:15 streaming weather show. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me. It looks like we are headed for some really nice weather around the tri-state, and I'm not really sure. Alert monitor, weather one. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. I've got all the buttons pushed right finally. Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Horstmeyer. Sorry about the rough start. I just pushed a few buttons wrong. I had to fix them. Take a look at our 6 cameras here. Everyone, tower cam in South Fairmont. This is a camera on the roof of Fox 19 here just to the west of Interstate 75. Here's our levee cam. You can see the nice sun there. This is Turfway Park, this is Clovernook Country Club, and this is from Mount Auburn looking out toward Norwood this way, and you can see whichever direction you look, the weather looks absolutely great, and it's going to continue to look great for some time. So let's go ahead and take a look at look at that, just a few cumulus clouds, a little bit of high cloud cover. Right now at the International Airport it is 72 degrees. Feels like 72. The winds are north at 10 miles an hour, so a nice fresh breeze out there too. So compared to what we've had for much of the summer, light winds, high humidity, and kind of steamy temperatures, we've gone to the other side of the coin here. 72 with a fresh breeze, low humidity. It is gorgeous out there, and the good news is it's going to stay that way for a while. Now take a look at this. These are the chances of rainfall. Just a minute. Oh, there we go. These are the chances of rainfall for the next 10 days. And notice we don't have much of a chance of rain. As a matter of fact, 10% is like, it's not going to happen. 20% is probably not going to happen. So the next 10 days, it's unlikely that you'll see any rain. And if you do see some, it won't be enough to meet the water needs of your lawn or your garden. So watering is probably the way we're going to have to go. Now, when we had that hot weather, of course, hot weather is a lot of thermal energy that increases the evaporation rate. And so the soil, even though we've got high humidity, the soil dries out quite a bit. We've got the same situation here. We don't have the heat. We've got cooler weather. We've got low humidity. So the low humidity causes that air to that water to evaporate into the atmosphere from the soil. So it dries out. And so based on this, right now, this is the 4th of September right here, that Thursday, we have very small, if any, chance of getting rainfall. So if you're looking out and you say, should I or shouldn't I water my lawn? Probably yes, or your garden or whatever else you have out there. So definitely looks on the dry side for the next 10 days or so. So there that is again. And 20% is not that much of a chance, although it may end up on that Thursday, the very last Thursday, the 4th of September, being a bit higher than that. And now for the 10-day temperatures, you can see we have a warming trend, okay? Now, if you look at these are all below normal, and we finally make it to 1 degree warmer than normal here on the 4th of September. So we do have a warming trend. It's not going to be like the warming trends we get in the middle of the summer with that just horrible humidity coming back. We will have a little bit of an increase of humidity, but we're still fairly comfortable for this. Now, of course, if you work outside and you're in the hot sun all day, comfortable is one other thing. But basically, we're not heading back to those midsummer-like conditions, just a little bit warmer than normal for the next 10 days. Okay, so that is what we're looking at there. Again, that takes us on out to Thursday, the 4th of September. Okay, weather headlines look like this. We're talking about tomorrow, cool and nice. Ditto on Wednesday. Now, Wednesday morning, the big high-pressure system is going to be right over top of us. That means calm winds, clear skies, ideal conditions for a cool morning. And right now, for Wednesday morning, we have a low of 52 in the forecast. The record low for Wednesday morning is 50, so we're going to be mighty near a record low, and many rural valleys will dip into the 40s. So Examples would be like Brookville, some of the areas of Morrow that are in the Little Miami River Valley, of course the Whitewater River Valley, the Licking River Valley in northern Kentucky, Kentucky River Valley, Ohio Brush Creek, Little Miami River Valley. If you live in any of the low valleys, of course I guess valleys by definition are low, but if you live in any of the valleys, you may very well see upper 40s Wednesday morning, and then ditto again for Thursday, just another nice day moving on into the tri-state. All right. Temperatures now, these were 7 p.m. temperatures, upper 60s in Harrison, Batesville, Connersville, Owenton. Falmouth bounced back up to 70, but we've got upper 60s in Hillsborough and Wilmington. Just ideal and really nice, comfortable weather. Easy to get a lot of work done outside. And then on radar, there's just nothing to talk about around the tri-state. Now, if we zoom out, we're going to change this over to a water vapor loop. So what we're looking at is humidity in the atmosphere. And you can actually see right here, this is where the jet stream is, okay? So the jet stream separates the moisture-laden air to the south from the drier air coming out of Canada. Notice there are a few showers up here. And the cause of these is really the lake breeze front. So because the lake is here, the cooler air pushes a little bit south, and that sets off some showers and thunderstorms. They are not in the forecast for us. So if we look at this and put the jet stream on here, you can see that's where the jet stream is, and that's guiding cooler air on into the tri-state. So there's the high pressure system that'll follow the jet stream. We put that into motion, and by the time we get to 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, it's centered over Iowa. By the time we get to 7 a.m. Wednesday morning, it is really centered a little bit south of us, but we're near the center of it, so winds will still be fairly calm, skies will be clear, and it's perfect conditions for radiational cooling. That means all the heat that's being radiated by Earth escapes easily to space, and we could see a record low. Remember, 50 is the record low. We've got a 52 in the forecast for Wednesday morning. And then a secondary front. So that high pressure system begins to weaken, moves off into the Atlantic, and another front comes in from the north. Okay, so this front, oftentimes in weather circles, we'll say, hey, this is a reinforcing front. In other words, here's the cool air mass. Well, this is another cool air mass, and this will reinforce the cool air in place. Notice fairly widespread rainfall along this. Is probably overdoing it a little bit, but that brings in the chance of some shower activity probably Friday morning. So let's put this back into motion. And there you see a few showers before dawn on Friday by 7 a.m. There may still be a few showers from parts of Mason, Adams, and Lewis counties eastward, but it looks like Friday daytime looks dry. As we head on into Saturday morning, that second high pressure system is over us with a little bit of high thin cloud cover out there. So that's that reinforcing shot of cool air. And then that high pressure system gets a little bit stronger, moves off to the north and east, and notice what's happening. And this is one of the things we know about high pressure systems. They circulate, and this is the northern hemisphere. It's the opposite in the southern hemisphere. They circulate like this. So when the high pressure system's to the west of you, you get northerly winds. When the high pressure system moves to the east, you get southerly winds, and that begins to warm it up, and that also begins to bring some more humidity into the tri-state. So even though we expect it to warm up like I showed you in that graph, and we expect more humidity, we do not expect humidity like we had in the middle of the summer. We're not talking about that stifling kind of weather whatsoever. All right. So that's that high pressure system, and then of course we may see an increase in the chance of showers as the southerly winds return. But right now, most of the models are saying it stays pretty dry. No rain you can count on through the next 10 days. Okay, so this evening we're looking at temperatures dropping to 61 already by 11 p.m. Overnight down to about 55. Now, if the official temperature is around 55 tomorrow morning, that means there will be some rural valleys that may dip briefly into the upper 40s, but at least lower 50s. And notice this little icon, that's the fog icon. We're not looking at widespread fog, but we're looking at fog in the usual spots, so mainly stream valleys. Oftentimes the Lunken Airport area gets fogged in. We're also talking about the Ohio River from Anderson Township on into Claremont County. Oftentimes gets fog. So we might have a few patches of fog in the spots that you usually see it, but nothing widespread. Okay, and then tomorrow the high temperature should make it up to right around 74 degrees, just a few clouds out there. Sunrise at 7:02, sunset at 8:18. 8 a.m. 57, rising to 12 degrees to 69 by noon, and that puts us into the 70s during the afternoon. So another great day in the tri-state. Now your 7-day forecast looks like this. 74, of course, the high tomorrow after that low of 55 or a bit cooler. 52 Wednesday morning. Now remember, Wednesday morning is the morning that the record low is 50, so we're going to be within 2 degrees of a record low. Many areas will dip into the upper 40s. 75 with filtered sunshine Wednesday. 78 on Thursday. A little bit more humid, a little bit warmer, but not significantly so. 76 on Friday, and this is good news for the Cincinnati Reds. It is a fireworks Friday. So with a partly cloudy sky, with low humidity, cool temperatures, more than likely for the game dropping off to maybe the upper 50s. So jacket weather for Great American Ballpark on Friday, but an ideal evening for fireworks. Saturday, FC Cincinnati plays, the high is 78, and then Sunday, look for a high temperature right around 80 degrees. Again, filtered sunshine. And Labor Day itself, just the slimmest chance of a pop-up shower. Remember, the southerly winds are coming back, so the slimmest chance of a pop-up shower, but more than likely, you're not going to have to worry about that at all. And if you look at the 3 days after the 7 days, so we go up to 10 days now, high temperatures in the low 80s for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday without a great deal of humidity. Now, if you want a summary graphic here that shows you the next 14 days, there are the highs, there are the lows. We'll compare that to normal, and you can see we've got a steady warming trend, but the warming trend peaks at 85, just a few degrees warmer than normal. The low temperatures make it to above normal, and looks like pretty good looking weather coming our way. And again, the factors here are it's not going to be stifling. It's not going to be, the humidity is not going to be stifling. The temperatures aren't going to be record-setting high temperatures, so we don't have a protracted heat wave coming our way, just a bit of a warming trend, but we do have fairly dry weather. It's not looking droughty yet because we should be going into wetter weather. So let me get back to that. I forgot to turn those graphics on. Let me turn on a few more from the Climate Prediction Center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all I've got to do is hit the right button and it works. Okay. Okay, so let's, I'll show it to you full screen as soon as it pops up behind me here, but we'll take a look at the Climate Prediction Center's temperature forecast. Okay, so the 6 to 10 day forecast in the blue shades, they have Cincinnati and the Fox 19 Now viewing area cooler than normal. That goes through the 4th of September. That's that Thursday, so that's the average temperature of this stretch of time. If we take a look at the second half of the forecast, we're near normal to a little bit cooler than normal in our southern counties. So we get close to normal, and that's exactly what that graph I showed you shows. And then the 3 to 4 week temperature outlook puts us back to warmer than normal. Okay, so after this nice cool break, we're going back to warmer than normal. But remember, from the 6th to the 19th of September, days are shorter, the sun is lower in the sky, so the sunshine's not as strong, and it's harder to get an extended period of hot weather. It can happen, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen this time. Okay, and then the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook says, and this is exactly what I was telling you, don't count on any rainfall because they've got us near to below normal for the rainfall. You can see that right here. We're right on that border. So near normal to below normal for precipitation through the 4th. And then through the 8th of September, we spring back to a little bit more than normal precipitation. Okay, the 3 to 4 week precipitation outlook increases it even more, so a little bit more than normal. So again, if you frame this in farmers' terms, it's like we have not extremely hot weather. That's good to be out in the fields getting the harvest done. We don't have extreme rainfall, so the field doesn't get soggy, stopping the equipment from getting in. The crops don't get moldy from all the rain and that. So overall, things are looking about as good as they can look at this time of year. Okay, let me go to Facebook here, see if we have anybody that's got a comment. All righty here. Yep, Susan Wally says, hey, we've got you for 4 more days. That's right. After today, it's only 3 more, so Thursday is my last day here at the station. Again, I have told them that, around Christmas time and that when, you always have people that, we've got a lot of people that aren't from around here, and so they want to get home and get out of town, especially young couples with kids want to go see family for Christmas. I'm always willing to fill in, so I'll probably be back at times filling in. And I told them I don't want to do anything before Christmas. I just need that time off. So, okay, JV Javisto says, what is the weather for tomorrow morning? Well, JD, we're talking about temperatures tomorrow morning in the mid-50s. Now, depending upon exactly where you're going to be, it could be as low as 50 in some spots, especially valleys and rural areas. And then it warms up. And again, I might as well just show you. Why don't I do that? That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? So let me go back to a graphic here that gives you kind of an outlook for the whole day, JD. It's coming up here, and we'll put it full screen. Okay, so the high temperature is 74. At 8 a.m. around 57. There'll be a few patches of fog out there, but again, not widespread, just in the usual spots, mainly along stream valleys. By 9 a.m., 59, into the low 60s at 10, and then up to 69 by the time we get to noontime. So that's what tomorrow morning looks like. Actually pretty nice, especially if you're an outdoor worker. At least you don't have to deal with that heat and humidity. Yeah, and then Susan Wally said her mom heard that we're supposed to be cooler than normal to mid-September. That's exactly right. Now, remember when you talk about that, when we take a stretch of time, we say cooler than normal. We talk about the average for that stretch of time. So what we have, and let me show you that graph again. Let me get to the beginning of the program, Susan. She said her mom heard that we're supposed to be cooler than normal through the middle of the month. Okay, so this graphic goes on out to, this is only the 4th of September. So we have a warming trend here. But if you would say that even though we've got one day here warmer than normal, if you took the average of all these, it would end up cooler than normal. And so because through the middle of the month, we may end up being cooler than normal, even though we've got a warming trend coming our way. In a few days, it'll be warmer than normal. So even if we're not cooler than normal, we're not going to be far from normal. We don't have a big heat wave coming our way the way it looks now. So things are looking actually pretty good. So Barbara Ann says, you get to go out with perfect weather. I know, aren't I lucky? I was just telling people earlier today, oh my gosh, I don't have to deal with any severe thunderstorms. I don't have to stay here all night. Nothing like that the rest of this week. So yeah, that's kind of a nice way to end. And she said, you're going to be missed. Well, thank you very much, Barbara Ann. And she said she liked the fact that I was calm during storms. And I'm supposed to enjoy my retirement. Every day will be Saturday. I like that. And then that's the important thing. One of the things that Barbara Ann mentioned, that I stay calm during storms, because the key to this is what am I doing here? I'm here communicating weather information to you, and sometimes when there's severe weather in the area, that is a life and death situation for certain people. And so if you get all frantic and riled up and waving your arms and that, you're not communicating clearly. And so one of the skills you have to develop in TV weather, especially during severe weather, is forcing yourself to stay calm and being clear and concise. So back in 2012 on March 2nd, it's like, hey, if you're in Piner, the tornado's about to hit, please take cover immediately. You've only got a few minutes. And if you say it clearly and calmly like that, people hear it and they're more likely to take action, and that's important. But thank you for the compliment, Barbara Ann. Yeah, Melvin Stone Street says he knows it's going to be cool. Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, many people are going to call Wednesday morning especially chilly with that near record low. We've got a low again of 52 in the forecast. The record low set back in 1945 is 50, and we may very well we may hit that. Okay. Shelley Seaman is watching the hummingbirds out here in West Union. West Union's out in Adams County. Yeah, I like to watch it. We've got wildflowers in a good portion, our entire front yard actually. And I like to sit out there and see there are hummingbirds that come, butterflies, all the bees and all that. It's kind of nice and relaxing. I'm going to do more of that starting Friday. JD Javisto, how am I doing today? I'm doing great, JD. I've only got, after today, only 3 more days, and I'm going to sit down at home, but I'll have to be doing the honeydew list. You know how that goes. And Sarah Danielle Whitworth says, at least the air conditioners and fans got a break. You're not kidding. I tell you what, our air conditioner, and I've told people this before, our house sits facing southeast, actually. And so we've got a southern exposure on our house. Our bedroom's on the second floor of the front of the house, and it gets so hot in there. A couple years ago when it was hot, I don't remember which year, our air conditioner was out, and I got home and it was like 95 in our bedroom. It was one of those days it hit 100, actual temperature hit 100 degrees. And so our air conditioner's just been chugging along, so. Yeah, Melvin Jones says, I'm retiring. Yeah, I'm retiring. I've been doing this now for 48 years. I'm 72 years old. I'm still pretty healthy. And so with the time I've got left, I want to kind of enjoy things. So my wife and I have decided it's time. Actually, I decided it's time, and she said, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with you around the house? Kiddingly, she said that. So, all right. Okay, I lost my place here. So, Kaylina Maltaner says, I will miss your ties. Yeah, they're going to go in a box. Kaylina, I'm not a tie wearer when I'm not at the station. So I'm just kind of a jeans and maybe t-shirt guy in the summer. Okay, and Savannah P. Bowling says, you'll have to share your fall foliage pictures on Facebook. I will. I will definitely share some of the stuff I do, because my 3 things that I'll be doing in retirement is, and I've traveled so much in my younger years that I just kind of want to stay home for a while and not do anything. But riding my bicycle, I love to ride my bicycle on the Little Miami Trail, walking the dogs, and taking photographs. And that'll, along with the honeydew list, that should keep me busy, okay? But Savannah, I definitely will do that. I will share any of the pictures I take, because my son's also a very talented amateur photographer. And he takes bird pictures all over the world. So, so I've got to try and keep up with him. Okay, well that's it. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow at 7:15. We'll do this once again, and we'll have more. Right now, the weather. For the meteorologist, the weather's kind of boring because, there's no action going on, but for everybody else, it's great, and it's going to stay that way for a while. So thanks for joining me. Have yourself a nice night, and I'll be back tomorrow at 7:15.